Dear Edwin, I really like your commentary videos. Thank you. Do you think you can make a video about queerbaiting in television? A show, Voltron, legendary defender, just queerbaited their audience. Whoa. Now I don't really do viewer requested videos, but like the whole content of this message really caught my eye, and plus, I'm a little open-minded myself. Queerbaiting is a practice to hint at, but then to not actually depict, a same-sex romantic relationship between characters in a work of fiction, mainly in film or television. The potential romance may be ignored, explicitly rejected, or made fun of. Some prominent examples of queerbaiting that are often cited by fans are CW's Supernatural and BBC's Sherlock. And to those of you who don't identify as LGBT+, you might not really see this as a big deal, but I think the reason why it is a big deal to some people is because of the lack of representation in film and media, you know? I mean, for me, when I see Michael Pena in Ant-Man, that is just such a like enjoyable time, you know? The way he acts and everything, I'm just like, yes! I don't know if it's because he's Mexican-American and I'm also Mexican-American, and for some reason I just feel so connected or what, but it just feels good. I don't know, I can't really describe it any other way. In this video, I aim to analyze and hopefully open up a nice discussion as to whether or not Voltron actually queerbaited. I'm gonna continue reading the fans' message. At a convention they showed an episode for the upcoming season which has now been released, and one of the main characters, a male person of color, was confirmed to be a gay male by one of the executive producers at the convention. And the way they talked and promoted the show made it seem like it would be a huge part of the main character's story.
What can you tell us about Adam?
Adam, he's Shiro's significant other.
And as a response, the voice of Shiro also tweeted, "I wanted to hang back this morning and let Shiro's moment be its own. That being said, I'm overwhelmed by the amazingly positive response and both honored and proud to be a part of something so important. Hashtag Voltron." Alright, so this part of the video is going to contain some spoilers, so if you're a fan of the show and you haven't seen season 7, then why haven't you caught up? You probably already heard the spoilers anyway. And if you've never seen the show but you're curious to watch it, then well, maybe you forget these spoilers by the time you get to season 7. And then season 7 came out. There was nothing that explicitly showed that Adam and Shiro were in a relationship. Adam was only present for a few scenes before he died, and Shiro never even got a chance to mourn for him. He had like a 2-minute scene where he touched Adam's name on the wall of deceased and frowned, but that was it.
I'm sorry.
And let's not forget about Ezor and Zethred. These two female villains were previously introduced in the show, but it wasn't until season 7 that they were shown to have a more than friendly relationship. Then they died. Many fans feel the killing of these two characters as well as Adam fits the bury your gays trope, which is a cliche where gay characters in fictional media either have unhappy endings or just die. We're upset that they killed off the only LGBT couples and given the heterosexual couples safe and happy endings. What the LGBT community needs is someone on our side to report the truth, that we were queerbaited by having the producers hype up an LGBT couple just for the other half to be shown in a flashback which didn't even explicitly say that they were a couple and be killed off a second time we saw him. This probably isn't your type of video to report on, but it would mean so much to us if you could use your platform to call out the producers. Thank you. Alright, so first off, I don't see myself as some all-knowing truth daddy. You know, I don't know everything. I like to research things, but I'm just not ready to call out the producers, especially because I don't watch the show, so I don't have enough insight. However, I do love the perspective, but I'm curious to see what the other side thinks, so I did invite a different Voltron fan who feels like maybe Voltron did not queerbait. I want to kind of hear her out before I make some call out to the producers. Now, I want to emphasize that the objective of this video is to have some growth and to further the discussion into this whole topic, not just Voltron. So please be respectful to other commenters with different opinions, and also my guest, Stephanie Michelle.
Thank you. What a lovely reception. Thank you so much. Hi, Edwin. Thank you so much for having me on your channel today. I am thrilled to talk about one of my favorite shows of all time, Voltron. I know, Edwin, you said you don't watch the show, which you really should. So I wanted to give you just a brief summary because there's a lot that's happened from season 1 through 7, and any new friends that don't know about Voltron, here's a quick summary of it. Voltron Legendary Defender is about a huge robot in space having awesome battles, and it's also about the pilots that form Voltron together. They are a found family. They all are different types of people that come together, and throughout the seasons we get to see them grow and really love each other and become a family, and they're totally separated from everyone on Earth, so they really do depend on each other.
Alright, so like Power Rangers in space. I can dig it. So how do you feel about Adam being introduced onto the show as Shiro's former lover?
Just like everyone, I blew up on the internet. I was freaking out with all the fans. In my eyes, going into this season as a viewer, knowing this, that they broke up in the first episode we ever see him as, I personally never felt like we were going to get this huge story arc of Shiro and Adam's relationship together in season 7. So for me to think that Voltron, the writers, the producers themselves queerbaited this relationship, I don't agree with it.
Uh-oh, fandom. Let's lower those pitchforks and hear Stephanie out.
Voltron is a show that is created for children. It has a rating of about, I believe it's Y7, and it's also contracted to make toys. Unlike a show like Steven Universe, where it's created with no toy line in mind first at the get-go, Voltron was created with the idea that they would be selling the robot lions, Voltron robot itself, and I'm definitely not trying to take away from the amazing characters and amazing storylines we see in the show. Merchandising is a huge deal, and that means that there's a lot of hands in the pot. And the writers need to be conscious to keep everyone happy so everyone can have jobs and Voltron doesn't get canceled.
I think that's a really good point, because I know that staying advertiser friendly here on YouTube, it can be hard sometimes. And even for LGBT creators, there was a controversy recently where a lot of their stuff was being demonetized when it was just innocent and nothing really offensive. So I can imagine that a cartoon might have a hard time also trying to introduce explicitly gay characters onto television, you know, especially if they want to keep that international distribution on Netflix and broadcast syndication like on TV channels.
Unfortunately, this is a really slow going on this road. And I commend everyone who's taken this chance to get shows like Steven Universe, Legend of Korra, and now Voltron on screen. It may be a small step, but we'll get there. The fact that they fought for what we got, I'm happy.
Well, a lot of people got blue balls, Stephanie, but your optimism is nice.
I would have loved to have seen more of Shiro and Adam just like anyone else, but I can't blame Team Voltron, and I really think there's a lot of misguided anger here.
Alright, so who can we be angry at? The show was advertised with these posters that heavily imply that we're gonna get some gay stuff. Where's the gay stuff?
That's a different story. On the DreamWorks Animation YouTube page, they have a trailer for season 6 of Voltron, and they used a picture of Keith and Lance together, and it looks kind of shippy. I've also been told in the tags they hashtagged their ship name Clans. That is very not good. I feel like adding the ship name and trying to make the thumbnail kind of baity. I can get why people were upset about that.
So we should be angry at DreamWorks? But DreamWorks made Shrek.
Shrek is love, I say.
Again though, I really want to stress that the producers, writers, and staff are a totally different area than the social media marketing campaign.
For the executive producer of the show to like a tweet that says fans baited themselves, okay, maybe, but maybe also talk to your marketing team, because I'm pretty sure the marketing team is the one that keeps leading fans to believe that there's gonna be more gay representation than there is. Now I understand releasing something you worked hard on, that you feel proud of, but you're still sensitive to someone's criticism because of those factors. However, to engage in arguments with fans or pick sides with different fans, it just doesn't seem like a good idea. Let me remind you, Voltron is one of the most viewed cartoons on Netflix. So to sort of divide your fan base, oh my god. I can only imagine if Twitter was around when Dragon Ball GT came out and the warzone would have been back and forth if the creators had engaged with fans. And I actually enjoyed GT. Still Goku. The executive producer of the show released an open letter on Twitter in which he says, with regards to season 7 itself, if anyone for any reason took away from the season that our intention was to queerbait the VLD fandom, I'd like to personally apologize. I can only speak to our intent, and I can truly say we did not intend to bait anyone. I know that is not any consolation, but it is the truth. We were incredibly excited and proud when the news broke of Shiro being revealed as a gay man. The story of how we eventually arrived at getting the green light to confirm Shiro and Adam is a tale that we'll unfortunately have to tell another day. So it does sound like he had to work to even get Shiro and Adam to be a thing. We were aware of the bury your gays trope, but hoped against hope that our struggle to confirm Shiro's orientation would take center stage here. We had not intended for Adam to be interpreted as a recurring character or someone that would come back into Shiro's life. Okay, so straight up he's admitting that Adam was just basically used to reveal that Shiro was gay. The reactions were varied, with some expressing disappointment, while some others were quite a bit higher on the emotional Richter scale. For that reason, I attempted to lay low on social media as to not exacerbate exacerbate the situation and allow cooler heads to eventually prevail. But my curiosity got the best of me, and I was having a tough time keeping myself from looking at my phone. As the debate raged on and at times became more heated, I gave into a combination of emotion and frustration and hit like on some of the arguments that I thought were shedding light on some elements of the point of view that I shared. In doing so, I not only did a complete 180 on what my intentions were, but also gave an unclear picture of exactly where I stood personally. And that was pretty irresponsible and insensitive thing to do given my position. Basically, it was a jerky move, and for that, I apologize as well. He ends the statement by saying the fact that there is a vocal audience demanding for the conversation to be pushed farther and faster is ultimately an incredibly positive thing and a lesson we'll take moving forward. Did Voltron queerbait? What's the verdict? Well, considering I've only seen one episode in the entire show, I can't speak for the show itself. However, the promotional rapping, that I think definitely caters to the LGBT crowd. I mean, the tweets alone that confirmed that Shiro was gay had so much interaction, so for the voice actors and producers of the show to pretend that this was a big deal made out by the fans alone, it really baffles me because obviously the marketing had a lot to do with it. So did they queerbait? Maybe a whittle. But that's just my opinion. I don't watch the show, so I'd love to hear any last words from Stephanie.
I really don't believe that Voltron has killed off your LGBT rep. Shiro is alive and well and still a huge part of this story and one of the main characters today. Not only is he a pivotal part of every season's plot lines, but he's also a guiding light to literally every character in the show. Looking back on the show now, you really get to see that all the characters look up to and idolize this man, regardless of his sexuality, which personally I think is like super revolutionary, as his sexuality has never been a talking point whatsoever in the show. And he is such a badass, and we should be celebrating the fact that Shiro, a gay man, is not defined by it. It's just a part of who he is, and he is so much more than his sexuality.
Oh gosh, your optimism is disgusting. I'm playing. Thank you so much for being a part of my video, and I hope you guys please be open-minded to her and check her out. I'll leave her links in the description down below. And whether you're a fan of the show or not, hope you learned something today, maybe gain a little perspective and get in on the conversation, yo. Post a comment below and don't forget to like this video because I enjoyed making it. You know, it took a lot of looking into, but I hope it came out right.
Edwin, thank you so much for having me on and letting me talk about my side of the situation. And I just want to stress again that everyone's feelings are valid. And if you're really upset by this, then I totally get it. I'm not here to try to change anyone's minds, but I do want to give a slightly different perspective. And if you guys want to talk to me more about Voltron, hit me up anytime at ohmystephanie on Twitter. I love talking fan theories and all that good stuff. I also cosplay Shiro too, so show me your cosplays. All right, Edwin, thank you so much again, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, I'll see you guys next week.
Remember, it is streaming right now on Netflix. Give it a go. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of great characters in there that hopefully you'll get attached to like I did.
All right, Stephanie, I'm gonna watch the show just for you.